Wobbledy wobbledy. Welcome to the OBT show. I'm Chris.
I don't know what you just said.
I said that because you smacked your pop filter, and I lost all concentration.
I thought you were. Is that a rap song? I'm not trying to sound like I'm 90.
It's part of the Back That Thing Up.
Who sings it? I'm Brandon, by the way.
Oh, that guy.
Why is Keyboard Cat?
Cash Money Millionaires. Keyboard Cat.
Why did Keyboard Cat pop up?
Yeah, that group.
Oh, okay. It's been a while.
Yeah, it has.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Daddy was in California.
Daddy was getting some sun rays and looking at some cool things.
And now I'm back here, and it makes my heart cry. In all seriousness.
Weeping with joy because you get to see my face now.
Well, I'm happy to see you,
Good.
of course.
Okay. Better answer.
But I went to California. Beautiful weather when we were in LA. Stayed with some of my ladies' family, and I knew the tone was set early because their cousin was. It was a hilarious comment for me, but not for them. It was just a standard comment. They were like, "It's gonna be a little cold today. It's gonna be about 72." And I started laughing and giggling hysterically because I was leaving 25-degree weather. So 72 degrees, cold by California standards, more than fine for me. And then when we came back after visiting Los Angeles, going up the Pacific Coast Highway, which was gorgeous, and stopping at restaurants that were literally built into the coast, which were awesome.
Yeah, the view, I'm assuming.
The view's disgusting.
Yeah.
It makes you question why you're even here and living in New York.
I know why.
Why?
The ladies.
No, I was born here, unfortunately. So then we hung out in San Francisco, which was beautiful, and then flew back to Newark, New Jersey, in 32-degree weather, rain, and gray skies.
Sounds like an even transition.
It was terrible, and then it was like tears of angels pelting the car all the way up from Newark back to New Paltz, which is home.
Basically, you sitting on the roof of the car thanking every god that the plane made it.
I was fine with the plane. Normally, I did get meds. I got some anti-anxiety meds, so I made it through it though.
So you mean Skittles?
Skittles. I took a Xanax and Xanax, if you pronounce it as it's written, Xanax. And
that's the purple Skittles, kids.
The purple Skittles. I took one for the flight over because I was nervous going over, and then I only took half of one just to kind of settle myself out. But that's the only time I took anything. So everything else was fine.
That's good.
Which I felt good. It was a victory because
I'm glad that you
had
had a good time.
Thank you. Were you sad when I was gone?
Yeah, dude. I was like getting pictures of stuff that you were saying, and I was just like, man, I would definitely appreciate this more than Kelly would.
I know. Because I went to Warner Brothers and I saw the bat suit that was used in the film.
Yes, that was excellent.
Took a picture next to that with my contemplative Bruce Wayne look.
I liked all the little Godzilla figurines that were on display too. I think
that was in the airport. That was San Francisco Airport.
That was awesome.
That was awesome too. They were Japanese toys display, which I was like, what is this? It had Ultraman, it had Godzilla. But at Warner Brothers, I also saw the original Heath Ledger Joker outfits.
Excellent. Scarecrow,
Ra's al Ghul, Talia al Ghul, and the Bomb, which was really funny. Like, I don't know if it was used in the film, but it was one that was used in production of The Dark Knight Rises giant bomb.
That's awesome.
Which is cool to see it up front, but I was like, oh, what a stupid guy.
Now, did we, acquire any of the dead skin cells from Heath Ledger so we can clone him?
No.
And have a future Joker of...
It was too scary. Well, you have to also remember, too, that it's not just like, hey, come on, walk through this warehouse. It's like, hey, walk through, but if you touch anything, any of these guards that are armed are going to punch you in the face and throw you out.
They're going to shoot punch you in the face.
Shoot punch you.
I'll believe it.
Shoot you in the face, and then as you're falling down, they're going to punch you in the gut. Just for good measure. You're already dead, but fuck you.
They have the technology and the capability.
But it was awesome. A lot of Hollywood was sort of debunked. It made me sad. For example, they were pulling up to a lot of grass, circular lot of grass, that it was a fake New York scene. And our tour guide goes, hey, how many of you remember the ending of Ocean's 13, where they do the big bank heist through the roof of the Las Vegas casino? And he goes, welcome to Las Vegas. They threw a green screen on the circular patch of grass, and then they did giant, like, 3-story green screen panels to cover the facades and shot it there.
That's awesome.
Built the roof. It was like cool, but at the same time, I was like, that's really good technology because it fooled me. Why would you fool me?
There's videos that they've released in the past couple of years to really like show appreciation for you know, the tech that goes into making those scenes and stuff. Like, you know, what your movie would be like without 3D technology, and then they take all of the stuff out, and you're like,
It does make you feel stupid, though.
It makes me really appreciate that guy that sits there and goes, click, add that one freckle.
It's so stupid.
It's perfect.
It's so stupid, though. Like, here's Las Vegas. Click, 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 Control, Alt, Delete.
It's
Enter.
not stupid. It's important.
It's stupid in the sense that it's stupid how good the technology is. It's just, it doesn't compute sometimes where I'm like, it's just weird to me at this point that Hollywood is just condensed to green screens.
Well, for the layman, it's understandable.
Shut up. Make me feel like I'm dumb, and I don't want to feel dumb.
I'm just teasing you. I have had a week and a half of not being able to pick on you, so it's like a new...
It's a new thing. But we were on the radio.
Experience. We were.
We're on the radio.
We did it.
I don't know if anybody heard it. I doubt anybody heard it.
I hope so. I mean, campus was pretty empty. So.
Last week at Tuesday night, it was empty.
Yeah.
Womp womp. But we were on WFMP. Thanks, WFMP, for simulcasting us live on the radio.
I mean, even if they didn't hear it, they felt it.
They felt it. You had to have
the
felt
radio
it.
waves
you
went
felt,
through their
You
brains.
felt it into your temple and out
vibrations.
your butt. And out your butt.
Out of the butt. Hey, Brendan. We haven't had that segue.
No, Can you do it again for me?
Hey, Brendan.
What's that, Chris?
We've got some stuff to talk about. Some stuff that will make our viewer base very happy.
Well, you finished a video game recently.
I did. It was South Park: The Stick of Truth.
Tell me about it.
It was probably the most funniest game.
That was terrible grammar, but go ahead.
The most vulgar game.
Yeah.
Of all time.
Yeah.
I was insulted, and yet I continued to laugh.
That's awesome. So
and it wasn't the insulted where I was like angry. It was just that I knew it was bad, and I continued to laugh at what I was looking at.
So is it more where they make fun of you at points for playing the way you play, or is it like there's situations that you're laughing at?
You're talking. It's basically like a living encyclopedia of references from the show.
Oh, that's awesome.
Which is automatically a great start.
Yeah.
It's a spoof off of every video game and RPGs specifically. So it's got like video game tropes that happen like I don't want to spoil anything for you because I know you want to play it. But they have Nazi zombies that occur.
That's awesome.
And that's a big video game trope now. So they explain how ridiculous it is basically. There's an abortion scene. I won't go into any specifics on that, but if you've seen the show, you know the quality that Trey and Matt can come out with.
That sounds... I'm already cringing and I haven't seen it.
Something.
Yeah.
But I never, ever wanted to put the controller down. I forced myself to do it because I knew that I would beat it in like 5 hours, and I wanted to get the full...
You want to enjoy it,
you know, gusto.
So what's your rating? We don't even have a rate. We should wait before you answer.
We're gonna have an official. We keep changing the rating system every time.
We keep changing it. I've done 1 to 10. What do you want to do?
Well, do you want to keep it game specific, or do you want to just have the OBT show stamp?
Let's make it something that is universal to comic books, video games, and movies. So 1, I don't know, 1 like 0's shit, 5 is great.
4.9.
4.9. Why are you knocking off the 0.1?
Minor glitches with the audio, and I'm talking very minor.
Now,
it only happened once.
Is this on PS4 as well, or no?
It's Xbox 360, PS3, and PC.
Okay, so
not next
they're
gen.
not porting it out to the next one.
No, I think they had already had so much work going into this one that they didn't want to need, upscaling and doing all that stuff just to put it out on next gen. They wanted to have what they made.
Okay.
But I'm very happy with it, and you're going to be very happy with it because you're next in line to borrow it.
Yeah! You have it on 360, right?
Yeah.
I'll have to use the lady's machine.
The ladies' machine.
The lady machine. That sounds terrible.
It's
I didn't
awful.
mean it.
You don't ever do that again.
I'm going to use the lady machine tonight and make myself feel pretty. So, you had a wonderful gaming experience.
Yes, I had a wonderful one.
You had a wonderful one.
But your tone suggests that maybe someone else didn't have
Here's
a
the thing. Here's the thing. Yes. Here's the thing.
Maybe
I'm not going to say that. I'm going to explain my feelings first, and then I'll talk about what game it is.
I sense some tension in your voice,
But this is. I feel like if this game was personified, it's the equivalent of having a rendezvous point set for years, and you've made the reservation, and it costs you a lot of money. You got a really fancy hotel. You maybe rented a car to make the night even more special, and you're waiting there, and what shows up is a giant steaming pile of poop. And that poop sits next to you and really tries hard to make you not see poop. But you can smell it, you can hear it, and you can see it.
So you're not going to be rating your experience very highly.
This is poop.
Okay.
And this game is called Thief.
I'm glad that we...
and here's the thing, and this is why, and it pains me, because this does feel like... It feels like a old friend that betrayed you, because Thief, and I said this on previous podcasts, I loved it as a kid playing on PC, and I spent many a day when I was playing racking my brain, like, was Thief just bad? And as a kid, I don't think it... I don't think so. I think the answer is no. I think Thief was good on PC. You don't think so? I think it was awesome on PC. It was a hit. It was a big seller.
That's true.
So it's not just me.
Because it was new, I think.
It was a new concept. I mean, obviously when you're looking at terms of graphics and sound compared to 2014, compared to that was 1998, yeah, it's going to look like terrible things. But you would hope, and my expectation was that with a new Thief, because of the success of Dishonored, which was the spiritual predecessor of Thief, that now I bought it without reading reviews, because I was like, it has to be good. It's Thief. And it's not. And it makes my wallet and my heart sad all at the same time.
Can I thunk this?
You can thunk it.
That's the sound of my head hitting.
I know. Well, I was blinded. I was blinded by my love for Thief. And now I have some legitimate critical reason for it as well, because to be fair, I pretty much stopped playing. I might go to it if I...
You haven't beaten it.
No, it's beaten me because I don't want to play it anymore.
Wow. This is a story of how friendship can differ between different people. Like my friendship of my childhood with South Park, and your friendship and youngerness with Thief. How they just went in so different directions.
Yeah. Yours is like an old friend that high-fived you off a private plane. Mine's like an old friend that gave me a nut shot and forced me to eat Sbarro pizza. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, by the way, man, while you're crying on the ground, you got to pay for the slice.
Yeah, I got to pay for this slice. Yeah. I owe him money all of a sudden, you know?
That's amazing.
He owes me money. I owe him money. I don't know how that happened. So, but here's now to get technical. This is why. The game is super repetitive.
Yeah.
Thieving is okay, but the AI is really silly, because there's points in the game where I can freely walk an area and a guard that's asleep doesn't hear me, but if I happen to mess up picking a lock, he hears the ching and then wakes up and immediately
I remember you saying you were standing over a ledge over someone, and he was like, "Oh, only 2 guards" or something like that. And you're like, "No, they definitely heard that."
First of all, the talking doesn't make sense. Second, the fact that I can jump from a rafter, knock out a guy, and yet a man is still asleep in the other room. Yet if I'm picking a lock, he hears the slight misuse.
Maybe in the game world it sounds like clunk.
It's the loud. Those are the old timey locks.
Your Thief hearing is damaged from like repetitive falling from building experiences.
The lock actually goes, "Hey, someone's trying to break into me. Why don't you wake up?" So there's that part. The graphics are subpar. They're not great. It's frustrating because there's a lot of detail in the city, but you can't do anything with it. You know, in Batman Arkham City or even Fallout 3, There's a fun discovery of what's on the walls, and you're kind of drawn
it's important
to it.
To pay attention to your surroundings in those games,
right? Because anything could be open, but it's pretty much all blocked off. There's maybe 1 or 2 access points to the roof, and then it's not user friendly in the sense that I'm entering rooms and I don't understand what I'm supposed to do, and then I will be prompted in a mission later where I was already in there, and I'm like, I was already here, and I don't understand why I wasn't prompted.
You only grabbed 3 of the rose petals. You should have grabbed 4.
Right, and the map is terrible that they give you. The map sucks because it makes no sense.
Is it an old timey map?
No, it's old timey for video games. It's the white square, and there's no context to it that says this is an entryway, this is 2 here or 2 there. It's literally, I remember I walked into a room, I opened up the window, and I was all of a sudden loading screen to another area. I was like, I don't understand how this happened. Or down in a basement, and then there's a mechanism where you have to like slide through crates, which again doesn't make much sense because there are other crates that look exactly like that, but I'm not prompted to press a button to travel. But I'm traveling through crates, and then it's a load screen, and then I'm in a different area. I'm like, I don't know why I'm here. I don't know what's going on. There's no easy way to get about. You are not challenged to be a thief. And you would think a game called Thief would make you be a thief, but it is like, do whatever the fuck you want. So I lit guys on fire with flame arrows.
Awesome.
And it doesn't change your outcome. The only thing it changes is your rating, which has no implication on future events. The thing I liked about Dishonored was the more of an ass you were, the more guards there were.
And the worse the future could be.
In Thief, it's like, hey, you went Predator style. Good for you, buddy. Move on to the next one.
You walked around going click, 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 click. Zap.
Pretty much. And I have a blackjack, so I just beat guys senseless. Because you don't have a sword. You just hit them with a blackjack. And
if consequences don't matter, fuck you.
Yeah. And I would rush them, and guys would be like, I can't see you, so I would just walk in. It's third person. I would just beat them. And that I had no... And it gave you prompts to, like, duck. And the more I tried to duck, the faster I died. So I realized just hitting R1 repeatedly knocked somebody out enough that I could kill them and move on.
Yeah,
so
that's not okay.
What I would do is as like the easiest thing to do is to figure out what the hell's going on, because the exploration factor sucks because it's hard to figure out where you are. I would just kill everybody and then just freely roam the streets with no consequence. No one else was coming. No one else was there. And then it was just... Then the other factor that's annoying is you need certain tools. Like, I needed a screwdriver to open up a grate, which in my mind I'm like, why can't I just do this?
Just shove your blackjack in.
And then the animation is literally taking a screwdriver going twice, and then you open up a grate.
Hate that shit.
Like,
hate that shit.
I was like, I don't understand why I can't just do this normally. Why did I have to pay $300?
Just so you know,
of in-game money, not real money.
I'm going to seriously wash the sour taste out of your mouth with South Park, because they have that kind of a thing where you have to do, and it has like the little animations. But imagine it as if God said it was okay.
Yeah.
Because all of those in-game animations copied off of Resident Evil opening up the doorways and stuff, which when that first came out was so awesome because it gave you transitions, and it was also a segue for loading. Right. That's what it was supposed to be. And then it goes... Now it's industry standard to have you like turning things and moving things. It's like, no, stop. It's stupid. Stop. It's so stupid. Nobody likes it. No one cares about this stuff.
And then the sound would cut out too. So the sound starts skipping, or the sound just drops. And I shit you not, there's a section of the game where you can go into a pub, and the audio is terrible because everyone speaks at the same volume at the same time. So 5 conversations load up at once. It's and I'm like, I can't hear anything. It's a terrible game.
I really want to play it. So you want to swap?
If you want to play just to see how long you can go, I went about maybe 2 hours before I said, I don't get it, because the other element is there's a storyline progression, but it's not clear. All of a sudden I was in chapter 2. I'm like, wait, how did this happen? Like, I know there's a marking, but I don't know who I'm talking to. I don't understand why I'm doing this.
I'm going to play it for like an hour and beat it and then come back and be like, Brennan, why are we having such a difficult time? I
know. Well, no, because not so much it's a difficult time, but I like exploring, but there's no consequence and there's no explanation for your exploring.
Yeah, no, that's upsetting.
Unless you get to certain points where it's like, I don't know if I need a special ability.
Oh, okay. Again, South Park, there are consequences for exploring.
Really? That's awesome.
I'm just happy that you're so upset about this game because of the fact that you're going to play a better game and be happy about it.
Yes. And I'm playing a better game now, which you don't like, Metal Gear Solid 4, which I love all of them. So I'm feeling better. So that's sort of like my therapy.
My dick is old. I'm going to die. Help me.
Metal Gear. That's the best. That's where I got that voice from.
Somebody poisoned the watering hole.
Meryl? Who am I? That's a lot of that.
Why the fuck is this kid here? I just need to kill something. You know that he, the guy that did his voice,
David Hayter.
Yes.
Yeah.
He screwed his voice up for like a year and a half because of he had to go into the studio and be like, all right, and get that gruff sound, and because Snake always has the gruff-ish sound, but now it had to be old
Snake. Yeah, so he had to wreck his voice. And old Snake is terrible. The acting is over the top, but I think it's sort of charming to me at this point because I like the Metal Gear Solid series. Like somebody had diarrhea in Metal Gear Solid 4, and I was like, "What is this?"
Yes,
it was like a Japanese game show where there was like terrible humor, and I'm like,
they were hiding in like a barrel or something.
Yeah, and they're pooping, and there's no like, all right, whatever, Kojima. This is your way of making things interesting, fine. So I'm playing that. I'm enjoying it. I'll do a review of that later if I get through it.
Okay. We need to go cutting edge. We need to talk about the future.
Well, I didn't rate Thief. Let me rate Thief.
No, we don't need to rate it. It doesn't deserve a rating. A -2?
-2. Because I feel like it just bothered me so much. So anyway, yeah, it's next gen. This is a game that you and I are...
It doesn't need a rating. -2.
-2. It hurt more than it helped. But we are both excited.
Yes. Very.
About a game.
Very.
Batman Arkham Knight.
Basically the excuse that we have to get a new system.
Yes.
It has to happen.
I don't know if we talked about it in the podcast, but you and I, Chris and I were trying to train ourselves to not give in to the new systems because of cost, and just because there aren't that many games out for it yet that are worth our time, that we really wanted. So Arkham Knight was announced, and I looked, and I immediately messaged you. I was like, I have to buy a PlayStation 4 now.
It's going to happen.
Because it's not going to be on... I'm going to say old gen, because now I'm going to refer to current gen as PS4 and Xbox One because we're there. It's not next gen anymore.
Currently I think it's only announced for next gen.
It's only
PC.
Yeah. So PS4 announced, and I'm looking at a Game Informer now, which it just sounds ridiculously awesome. You can actually drive the Batmobile for the first time, which is really awesome.
It's not just in animations.
And apparently, I was reading more. The Riddler challenges will be based on the Batmobile.
Oh, sweet.
So there are tunnels underneath Gotham that Riddler is challenging you to get through. And I was reading, it sounds ridiculous in a cool way, though. Like, you have to race through Gotham, and there are switches that you have to hit. So in addition to driving, you're also going to have to coordinate switches that will override a trap that the Riddler has down certain tunnels. So
that's pretty effing cool.
And then this kind of does, this really in great detail writes out a demo that Game Informer got to play. They played like the first 10 minutes.
Can we just discuss how Harvey Dent looks almost identical to Nolan's Dent?
Yes.
Which I know is inspired from comics, but I mean, that Two-Face was very, very, very like, oh my God, look at his face. And it looks very, very similar in this. I
agree with you. I think it looks really awesome.
That was a little sidebar.
It was a sidebar.
It looks good.
It was really good. But for the most part, it has to deal with. It starts with Scarecrow threatening to set off bombs, cities evacuated, which then thank you for Arkham Knight for coming up with something logical besides Arkham Origins. There's a snowstorm. Everybody stays inside. I hated that. This makes sense.
Everybody's getting the fuck out of town, so you can explore the whole city.
And it's about 3 to 4 times larger than Arkham City,
which is awesome.
Because
Arkham City was pretty expansive.
Yes, and at one point you can fight up to 50 guys, which is up from the 20 they had on 360 and PlayStation 3. So that's awesome with the next gen. They've also upgraded the bat suit to reflect the Batmobile, with the concept being that since Joker's died, it's set a year later. Crime is low. But what you realize is that it just means supervillains have been plotting. So the early plot before it was revealed it was Ra's al Ghul in Arkham City, spoiler alert, was Joker is back and he's threatening. So I think there's going to be some sort of swerve like there usually is.
Okay.
They also announced that there is a character called Arkham Knight. It's not just the name of the game, but a name of a villain.
Like just for the game, right?
Well, that's what they're saying. I'm thinking that there's a couple things theories I have. Prometheus, which was a villain that was featured in Arkham Asylum as an afterthought, written and also in Arkham City. Prometheus is a villain that is sort of Batman's equal during Grant Morrison's Justice League of America series, where his power is that he can adapt to fighting skills.
Okay.
So Batman, it was Batman's sort of counterpart.
So you think that they're going to use him?
I think my theory is that he is Arkham Knight.
It's a smokescreen?
And it's a smokescreen.
Okay.
And maybe you find that he was hired out by someone else to distract Batman, if you will.
Okay.
Because that makes sense. Because that's why I'm like, they're a little shady with. They're like, it's a new character.
I like the idea of there being a completely new written character. That's just.
I like that too. But it could be
like,
to the mythos.
Hey, guess what? Into not necessarily canon, but into the Batman universe, they take their stab because they've done such a good job with the game. I'm comfortable with them making a new villain.
Yeah.
So to me, that's awesome. But if it's like you said, how they write it in would be interesting to see. I know Hush is going to be in it.
It could be Hush as well. It could be Hush as well.
I don't think Hush would be. They've already brought up that he's going to be in the game. Like they showed a picture on was it Rockstar's or not Rockstar?
Rocksteady.
Rocksteady, yeah. That was like, remember this guy? And nobody. Well,
he could
go look it up.
He could still be Arkham Knight. He could still be Arkham Knight because his whole thing is that he is Bruce Wayne.
He's the anti-Bruce.
And if he finds out Bruce Wayne is Batman, then that Arkham Knight could be the anti-Batman.
Okay.
I think there's avenues that I'm anticipating a swerve. I don't think this is going to be a brand new person. Maybe in DC proper they'll introduce it as a brand new person, but I feel like it's a smokescreen a la Ra's al Ghul. In the first one
is what you're saying,
right?
And they know what they're doing,
and sort of there wasn't. Yeah, I think so. It's a work.
I'm trying to incorporate my new WWE knowledge into video gaming.
You're so good. But I want to finish this part. But the end of the demo is this Arkham A on his chest, a militaristic Batman. He jump kicks him, and stomps him down and says, "You're not going anywhere." Then takes out a gun and sends tonight. That's why I'm like, maybe that's Hush. I don't know. I'm excited. This comes out in October of this year, which is ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not really because it's been spoiled.
What?
That the game was going to come out.
Oh, well, yeah. Game Informer and IGN spoiled it.
Well, no. Well, I mean, when they were asking what's his face about recording for.
Oh, Kevin Conroy.
Kevin Conroy. They were like, "Hey, are you recording for Origins?" Like, no. But I'm working on some other stuff. What are you working on? I gotta go.
Pretty much. But I want to read this paragraph and see if you're enticed by it. This is the end of the Riddler Batmobile section. It says, during the final stretch, the track blows up before your eyes, and you have to drive along the wall, up to the ceiling, and down the other side in an impressive corkscrew maneuver.
So, Prince of Batman?
Pretty much, but I think that's awesome.
Batman of Persia?
That's awesome, though.
That's pretty cool. Yeah,
because the Batmobile should do that, and I'm glad it's a mobile Batmobile, not 1989 Batmobile.
If they can make the animation where you can see the tires going like trying to rip into the rock side, and then like the engine on the back just firing extra hard to make it, that would pretty much make my day as a Batman fan. Mm-hmm. I think that's why you brought in that little segment.
And you have to swap in panels. I don't understand, but apparently you need to do panels along the track. So it looks awesome. That's what the Arkham Knight looks like. This is the best.
Yeah, that looks pretty creepy.
That's why I'm thinking it's a swerve because this whole mask thing is covered. So, and then that's the corkscrew maneuver of the area. So you would start this way and then go around, which is really awesome.
Yeah, Brendan's holding up
I'm holding up my
paper copy of Game Informer. I had mine digitally.
And I don't know why they have
a week ago
the Confederate guy.
It's probably gonna be.
Who would that be?
I don't know who that's gonna be. I was gonna say. I was like, it's probably gonna be. Wait a minute.
Well, there's also
some kind of anarchy.
A new fear takedown can wipe out up to 3 enemies with a single chain maneuver. That's awesome. All right, I gotta stop reading this because I'm not gonna pay attention. But I'm wondering who this is, unless it's just a average criminal.
Yeah, it's gonna be a criminal guy. It's gonna be a thug.
There's not that many Southern criminals that Batman has.
No, he is located in Gotham,
Northeast. a.k.a. New York City. Before we go, was there anything else? I forget.
No, I think that we covered all of our bases for once.
Hell
we
yeah.
remembered.
High five.
High five. Yes.
No notes finally paid off after 37 podcasts. Chris, what did you learn today?
I didn't learn this today. I learned this a day or two ago, that when quizzed, we are the same Batman.
I know. That's awesome.
We are both the 1989 Batman, and Michael Keaton should be honored that we respect our quiz-taking skills. Brendan, what did you learn today?
I learned today that a video game that you think you really love can leave you at the altar and make you feel sad and not want to enjoy life.
And you still got to pay for the slice.
And that slice was $60. I'm Brendan.
I'm Chris.